Alright, so there's basically 4 types of bridging. You have slow bridging, ninja bridging, breezily bridging, and god bridging. Let me show you what I mean.
Nope.
So the first example I'm going to show is ninja bridging. You're shifting at the end of each block, placing a block, and then unshifting to prevent falling off. It's pretty quick, and it's definitely the most reliable speed bridge. So the next one is breezily bridging. So what you have to do is you have to click extremely fast while moving to the side of each block to allow you more time to place another block that you walk on top of. So the last one I'm going to show is god bridging. You're just walking backwards placing blocks. It's definitely the fastest speed bridge possible. The only people I've actually seen to do it legit are people that time it, but even then it's super difficult. So the two we're going to be focusing on today is ninja bridge and ninja diagonal bridge. They're the ones that you're going to be using most in game. Breezily and god bridging are not reliable at all. I don't understand why people are so adamant about learning those types of bridges. It literally makes no sense in game. You fall way too much doing it. What I would focus on learning is ninja bridging just both ways. So I'll give a few examples here of each, and then you can look at the keystroke mod up at the top right corner to see what I'm doing. Alright, well, some people hold right click down in ninja bridge. I actually don't like that way. I feel like I can't get the timing down for the shifting. So what I do is I time each individual click. And that works pretty well. So I can get it about 95% of the time, I'd say, without falling. So it's definitely worth it to learn. Alright, so there's a few ways to do ninja diagonal. I time each click just like I do just regular ninja bridging, but some people will butterfly. I find it easier just timing, just like the ninja bridging. It's a little faster when you're jitter clicking or butterfly clicking. It's a little harder to learn because when you're jitter clicking or butterfly clicking. But if you can get that down, then you can do it pretty well, and it's also the fastest way to diagonal. Let me show you an example. So it's pretty quick. It's definitely faster than timing it, for sure. The first thing you really have to learn is how to stay centered in the block. That's what I had to overcome the most when I was learning. And it probably took me maybe a month or two just to figure out what my problem was, why I wasn't consistent in speed bridging. And that's the main reason. The reason it's harder to stay centered is because when you're holding the S and D key down, or the A and D key depending on, or A and S key, depending on which direction you like to face. If you don't have the mouse centered, it'll constantly drift you to each side of the block. So what happens is you'll you'll miss the block placement, or you will unshift off one of the side of the blocks. So what I always tell people is keep your mouse as still as you possibly can. Put it in the right spot, make sure it's centered. You don't want the mouse moving at all. You can always make little adjustments here and there while you're bridging, but try to keep the mouse so you're not touching it at all and it won't move. If you can't do that, you're probably just gonna get frustrated and quit. So after you learn that, after you learn staying centered in the block, that's when you can learn the speed bridging. Okay, so what I want you to do is center your crosshair on the block, place a block, unsneak, sneak as fast as you possibly can. One block at a time, all right? So let me do that right here. So what this forces you to do is to learn what buttons you need to push at the specific time. Eventually, after you do this, you'll pick up the muscle memory just from being consistent, just from doing one block at a time. So eventually you can start to place the other block faster and faster, and then after a while you'll get the speed bridging. Once you get those two main things figured out, it actually gets super easy from there. It's just all about trying to take it nice and slow. Don't go right at it thinking you're going to be the best. I would know life practicing just speed bridging. It probably took me about an hour to 2 a day for a couple weeks to be consistent at it. But that's after I figured out my problem with keeping the block centered, because I'd always shift out and I wouldn't be able to place the block. So with those two things, it makes it pretty easy. So the next one we're going to be learning is the diagonal ninja bridge. This one is actually pretty easy. I would say it's easier to learn than doing the regular ninja bridge. You have more time between the unsneaking and sneaking. You can get the timing a little easier. So what I tell people is do the same exact thing as the regular ninja bridging. So the only thing that's really different about this, if you're timing the blocks, is you're going to place 2 blocks instead of 1. And then you unsneak, and then you sneak. Alright, so we'll try that here. And then just like the ninja bridging, you can eventually speed it up and speed it up. So you want to keep your crosshair about right on the edge, so I can place 2 blocks right in that area. It's super easy to learn. Again, just go slow and you'll have it no problem. Just remember to place 2 blocks instead of 1, and you're good to go from there. So probably the last thing I'm going to teach is the ninja staring. This comes in handy so much. Let's say that team is bridging to me and they're going up, and you need to get up as fast as possible. With regular staring, and you're holding sneak the whole time, it's not super slow, but it's definitely not as fast as it could be. Usually they'll make it above you before you make it above them. You're going to do the same thing as diagonal, where you're going to place 2 blocks instead of 1. And then you're going to unsneak and then sneak so you get to the edge of the block. So I'll show you that here. So I place the 2 blocks, I unsneak right there, and then as soon as I land, that's when I sneak. And eventually, you'll get better and better and better. And this will save you a lot of times from somebody trying to bridge up on you, if you can bridge up before they do. It's a really good skill to learn. You use it in Sky Wars, you use it in Bed Wars, obviously. I'll show a clip of me bridging pretty quick to another team in a doubles match. I'd say about 60% of the time you can get to their base before they even have a defense down. Oh yeah, so I mean, that's about it. Just the biggest thing is staying consistent with it. You can't give up. I told you I'd practice about an hour or 2 a day, and you eventually get better and better and more consistent at it. But that's with nobody teaching me. I'm sure you'd be able to get it faster than I did, but yeah, once you get it, it's pretty cool to show off. Definitely helps in Bed Wars, makes it more enjoyable. If you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. Alright, see you guys.